Good day, everyone. Welcome back to another exciting and fun-filled learning in our oral prep class. Once again, I am Sir AJ and I'll be your teacher for today's discussion. Before anything else, let's have a short review on the different types of speech context. Basically, there are two types. We have the intrapersonal communication and the interpersonal communication. Intrapersonal communication, there are three levels. We have the internal discourse, the solo vocal communication, and the solo written communication. While in interpersonal communication, it's subdivided into four types. The dyad communication, communication between two people, the small group communication, wherein there are 3 to 12 people involved in this type of communication, the public communication, and the mass communication. Now, for this lesson number 6, we will be discussing about the different types of speeches and the speech style. Now, let me present to you our learning objectives for today. Number 1, distinguish the types of speeches according to purpose and delivery. Second, determine the types of speeches used in different real-life situations. Third, distinguish the types of speech style. And the fourth one, identify the social situations in which each speech style is appropriate to use. Now, let us try to have an overview of our discussion for today. The different types of speech according to delivery. The manuscript speech, the memorized speech, the extemporaneous speech, and the impromptu speech. For the types of speech according to purpose, we have the informative speech, the persuasive speech, and the entertainment speech. Now let's talk about speech. Let us try to define it. It is the human nature to express thoughts and emotions. It is more formal than talking or the usual conversations, and it is delivered to leave a remarkable message. Now these are the types of speech according to delivery. First is the manuscript speech. It is the word-for-word iteration of a written message using visual aids. Reading aloud a written message, it is planned and rehearsed speech, and speaking with advanced preparation. So what are the examples of manuscript speech? The news anchor with a teleprompter, reading a statement about your organization's legal responsibilities to customers, religious proclamation issued by any religious leader, and a speech in honor of a well-known person. So that's manuscript speech. The second type of speech, according to delivery, is memorized speech. It is the rote recitation of a written message that the speaker has committed to memory. Is speaking with advanced preparation, planned and rehearsed speech, and reciting a written message word for word from memory. And of course, it enables the speaker to maintain eye contact with the audience throughout the speech. What are the examples? Actors' dialogue, valedictory speech, speech choir, and toast speech. The third type of speech, according to delivery, is the extemporaneous speech. It is the presentation of a carefully planned and rehearsed speech, spoken in a conversational manner using brief notes, speaking with limited preparation, guided by notes or outline, and delivered conversationally. What are the examples? Campaign speech before a public voting, lecturing, and even hosting. So note, this is the type of speech used most in business, in education, preaching, and in political affairs. And the fourth type of speech, according to delivery, is the impromptu speech. It is the presentation of a short message without advanced preparation and is for people knowledgeable about the subject. Speaking without advanced preparation, unrehearsed speech, and spoken conversationally, and sometimes it is also known as the on-the-spot speaking. And what are the examples? During class recitations, question and answer portion in a pageant, even debate, or a doctor's response to the question of a patient, and when you are being interviewed. So those are the different types of speeches according to delivery. Now let's talk about the different types of speech according to its purpose. The first one is the informative speech. It's mainly performed for the purpose of educating the audience on new or relevant piece of information on a particular topic. It is also known as expository speech. It provides information such as history, theories, practical applications that can help the listeners understand something that is unknown to them or already known but not yet clearly understood. And what are the given examples of informative speech? A teacher lecturing on a specific topic during a class, a doctor talking to a group about ways to avoid heart disease, or a company president presenting information about their monthly sales. Let's have the second type, the persuasive speech. It is given slowly for the purpose of convincing the audience to agree with the speaker's opinion on a particular topic. It is written to persuade or to encourage or to convince the listeners of the validity of the speaker's argument. And what are the examples? The speech of a lawyer, or a teenager attempting to convince her parents that she needs to be able to stay out until 11 p.m. instead of 10 p.m. Or a student council running for a president position trying to convince his fellow students to vote for him. The third type of speech according to purpose is the entertainment speech. It aims to share laughter and enjoyment to the audience through witty and humorous lines. It intends to captivate an audience's attention and amuse them while delivering a message. The purpose of the entertainment speech is not only to tell jokes, and neither is it the purpose of the speaker to have the audience laughing throughout the speech. Examples, the speech of a comedian or even a sitcom, a motivational speech at a conference, an after-dinner speech, or it could be a humorous review. Now, let's talk about the different speech styles. It is the form of language that the speaker uses, which characterized by the degree of formality. So the unique way in which the information is delivered to the audience. So that's what we call the speech styles. The first one is the intimate style. It is used for very close relationships. So this communication style is very private and it is reserved for close family members such as your parents or your siblings or intimate people. And it is described by an economy of words with a high chance of non-verbal communication. The some examples of the intimate styles are a conversation, a couple conversing with one another, or asking your family for advice about serious matters. And take note, language in this style may not be shared in public. The second type of speech style is the casual style. It is an informal communication between groups and peers who have something to share and have shared background information but do not have close relations. It is also known as informal style. The diction or vocabulary is informal or colloquial, and it is often very relaxed and focused on just getting the information out. So some of the examples are the use of slang words, the use of simplified grammar, conversation with your friends, and take note, jargon, slang, and vernacular language are used in this style of speech. The third type of speech style is the consultative style. It is used in semi-formal and standard communication. It uses listeners' participation and feedback. It is less appropriate in writing, and it is an unplanned speech. Examples are when a student recites in a class, or a regular conversation at schools, companies, group discussion, teacher-student, doctor-patient, or an expert and apprentice. And then take note, professional or mutually acceptable language is a must in this style of speech. The fourth one is the formal style. It is a one-way straightforward speech. It is used in speaking to medium to a large group of people or audience. This type uses formal words and expressions and is mostly seen in writing rather than speaking. And then this speech style is also expected to be presented in complete sentences with specific word usage. The examples are during a job interview, a business trip, a dinner party, meetings, or in academic papers. And then take note, what the speaker says is something that has been prepared beforehand. And then the last style is the frozen style. It is commonly known as the fixed speech. It is the most formal communicative style that is often used in respectful situation or formal ceremony. The writer reflects the efforts of revision, and it uses a complex grammatical sentence structure and vocabulary that are only known by the experts in that particular field. Examples: national pledge, marriage ceremony, or a speech for a state ceremony. So these are our key takeaways for today's discussion. Again, we define speech as a human's nature of expressing one's thoughts, feelings, and emotions. These are the type of speeches according to delivery: the manuscript, memorized, extemporaneous, and impromptu speech. According to purpose, we have informative, persuasive, and the entertainment speech. And the different speech styles that we have discussed are the intimate style, the casual, consultative, the formal, and the frozen style. So just a few reminders before we end up. So visit our GC and LMS, study, accomplish, and submit the required activities, course, and time. Do not hesitate to ask relevant questions. You can also address them all in our respective GCs. Quarter 1 is about to end, so be sure that you have submitted all your activities from the last one. And find time to communicate with your family and friends. So always keep the faith. Okay? So if you have any questions, I think that's all for today. And thank you so much, and God bless us all.